For centuries, gardeners have raked out fireplace ash and spread it across fields, compost heaps, and garden beds. Some swore by it, claiming it enriched the soil and helped crops thrive. Others warned it was dangerous, driving worms away and leaving the ground barren. Even today the debate continues. One gardener insists worms avoid ash at all costs, while another finds their beds teeming with life after adding it. So which is true? Does ash harm worms, or do they benefit from it indirectly? We dug into both the science and the history to separate myth from reality, and to give a clear answer on how to use ash wisely in the garden. Ash has always been a controversial amendment. In the days before chemical fertilizers, farmers relied on the byproducts of fire to enrich soil. Fireplace ash, stove ash, and even the remains of burned weeds or brush were all considered valuable. These ashes were known to sweeten acidic soils, supply potassium, and make crops more resilient. But alongside the praise came warnings. Too much ash, elders said, and the worms would vanish, the soil would harden, crops might yellow instead of green. The contradiction puzzled gardeners then, and it still does now. The truth is that both observations are correct, but they describe different conditions. The way ash interacts with soil life depends on how much is applied, how it is prepared, and what else it is paired with. Worms themselves tell the story, retreating from harsh conditions but thriving in balanced soils enriched with ash in moderation. Fresh ash has two properties that make worms uncomfortable. The first is pH. Wood and plant ashes are alkaline, sometimes sharply so. When applied thickly, they create a sudden spike in soil alkalinity. Worms, with their sensitive skin and need for balanced moisture, instinctively avoid zones where the chemistry irritates them. The second factor is texture. Fine, dry ash particles cling to the moist surface of a worm's body, drying and irritating it. If you scatter a heavy layer of ash directly on the soil, it creates a barrier worms will not cross. So this is where the belief that ash drives worms away actually comes from. Farmers who dumped ash in heaps would see earthworm populations retreat, and the soil just looked lifeless, which really confirmed their fears. But honestly, that was never the full story. Once ash is rained on, blended into organic matter, or maybe just lightly worked into the topsoil, its harshness really fades away. The alkalinity stabilizes, the fine particles disperse, and what's left is a mineral-rich amendment. Ash, contains potassium, calcium, magnesium, silica, and trace elements, all of which are vital for plant growth. None of these harm worms. In fact, they actually feed the microbial communities that worms depend on. Worms don't feed directly on ash. They aren't attracted to minerals alone. Instead, they sort of graze on the thin films of bacteria and fungi that coat soil particles and organic matter. When ash enriches the soil, microbial life really surges. Worms pick up on this and move in, so the result is an indirect attraction not to the ash itself but to the living buffet it helps create. Gardeners throughout history recorded the same pattern. In parts of Europe, fireplace ash was, routinely sprinkled on vegetable beds in winter. By spring, when rains had washed it in, the soil was alive with worms and honestly easier to work. In Japan, rice farmers mixed straw ash into paddy soils, noting stronger worm activity and higher fertility. Modern studies have confirmed that when wood ash is added moderately to compost piles, worm populations increase. The ash neutralizes acids, balances the bedding, and provides minerals that encourage microbes to multiply. Worms in turn flourish. But the opposite also holds true. Over-application leads to poor results. Heavy doses of ash can raise soil pH beyond what microbes and plants prefer, creating a less favorable environment for worms. The difference between benefit and harm comes down to moderation and timing. One of the best ways to use ash without risk is to combine it with compost. In a compost heap, acids from decomposing matter balance the alkalinity of ash. Microbes thrive on the minerals, and worms arrive to help break it all down. Here, ash acts almost like a conditioner, preventing compost from turning too acidic while supplying extra nutrients. When worms pass through compost containing ash, the minerals coat the biochar-like surfaces of their castings. This increases nutrient stability in the soil. In essence, worms process the ash indirectly, blending it into humus in a way plants can easily use. This explains why worm-rich compost piles fed with small amounts of ash produce such powerful soil amendments. Moisture is the great equalizer when it comes to ash. A dusting of ash on dry soil can irritate worms, but once it is wetted down by rain or irrigation, its edges soften. Soluble salts dissolve and leach into the soil, where they become available to plants and microbes. This natural washing-in process is one reason why farmers traditionally applied ash in winter, allowing seasonal rains to mellow it before spring planting. In worm-rich beds, moisture ensures ash integrates into the soil food web without harming sensitive life. Dry heaps of ash, on the other hand, remain hostile until broken down. For the gardener, this means water management is critical when introducing ash to soil systems. So does ash drive worms away, or do they feed on it indirectly? Well, the answer really depends on how you use it. If you dump a heavy layer of ash on the surface, you're actually creating conditions that worms will flee from. But if you use just a light touch, mixing it in gently with compost and keeping the soil moist, you create an environment that worms are drawn to. This is why, old gardeners' wisdom both condemned and praised ash. Each gardener was just speaking from their own experience. One had seen it misused, the other had learned how to apply it carefully. For modern gardeners, the real lesson here isn't to throw ash away, but to respect its power. You want to think of it as a supplement, not a main fertilizer. Add it sparingly, blend it with organic matter, and give it some time and moisture to work into the soil. In that kind of setting, worms won't just tolerate ash, they'll actually thrive in the fertile environment it helps create. The myth that ash drives worms away is, rooted in truth, but it's only part of the story. Worms do avoid raw, concentrated ash because it really disrupts their environment. Yet, that same ash, once it's settled and blended into the soil food web, becomes an indirect feast. By fueling microbial growth, balancing acidity, and adding minerals, ash creates conditions that worms absolutely love. The real key isn't about how much you use, but about balance, patience, and pairing ash with organic matter. So, the next time you rake out a fireplace or burn a small batch of plant residue, just don't think of the ash as waste. Think of it as a tool. Used wisely, it becomes part of the cycle of fertility, drawing worms back into tired soil and helping to revive it from within. If this guide gave you some clarity on a subject that's been long clouded by myth, go ahead and subscribe to HydroHaven and share it with your fellow gardeners. Together we can keep uncovering the forgotten truths that make soil come alive again.